The Suzuki GSX-R1000 is a sport bike from Suzuki's GSX-R series of motorcycles. It was introduced in 2001 to replace the GSX-R1100 and is powered by a liquid-cooled 999cc inline four-cylinder, four-stroke engine. History: 2001. For 2001, Suzuki introduced a new GSX-R model that replaced the largest and most powerful model of the GSX-R series sport bike, the GSX-R1100, with the all-new GSX-R1000. As the model name revealed, the engine's cylinder displacement was roughly 1000 cc, about 100 cc smaller than its predecessor. The GSX-R1000 was not just an enlarged version of the GSX-R750, although it shared many features with its little brother. The main frame is the same in both models, but the material used on the big brother was 0.5 mm thicker. Suzuki claimed the torsional rigidity of the frame had increased 10% in comparison with the GSX-R750. The GSX-R1000 engine was a redesigned GSX-R750 engine. The R1000 had a 1 mm bigger bore and 13 mm longer stroke, newly designed pistons with lower crown, and gear-driven counterbalancer. The engine weighed 130 lb, which was slightly heavier than the 750 engine but 31 lb lighter than the engine of the GSX-R1300R. The performance of the engine is a peak of 160 bhp at 9,500 rpm, as measured on the crank, and 143 lhp, when measured on the rear wheel, with small variations between different instances of the same model. The readline is set at 12,000 rpm. The maximum torque of the engine is 80 ft pound-force at 8,000 rpm. Combined with a total weight of 374 lb, this gives the GSX-R1000 a top speed of 179 mph, a 1/4 mile time of 10.1 seconds at 141.7 mph, and a 0 to 100 km/h time of 3 seconds. Using titanium for the exhaust downpipe and the inside of the silencer, enabled the 1000's exhaust system to become 4 lb lighter than that of the 750. Titanium was also used in the front fork to coat the stanchions. An exhaust tuning valve had been mounted inside the exhaust pipe. Using a servo, the system dynamically adjusted the exhaust back pressure, according to engine speed, throttle position, and gear selection for increased torque, lower emissions, and decreased noise. The exhaust noise of the GSX-R1000 is notably lower than that of the GSX-R600. With the 2001 model of the GSX-R1000, the 1998 Yamaha YZF-R1 was finally surpassed, with the GSX-R being lighter and more powerful. The 2001 model carried over to 2002 with minimal changes. 2002 introduced IA modifications to the fuel pump, clutch, front axle, torque link, mirrors, and luggage hooks. The manual fast idle was replaced with a computer-operated implementation. New colors, and new GSX-R stickers. 2003, after the GSX-R1000 had been 3 years on the roads and racetracks, Suzuki put out a new version of the model in late September 2002. Suzuki engineers had been working on the three things that made a fast bike faster: weight, power and handling. The 2003 year's GSX-R1000 was improved in all three counts. It weighed less, had more power, torque, and handled better. The physical dimensions of the bike were almost identical with the previous year's model. The seat height and the overall height were somewhat lower, but the geometry of the bike was exactly the same as before. The already rigid aluminum alloy frame was newly designed and enforced with internal ribs. The frame as well as the wheels were now coated black. The front brakes were also new. Suzuki decided to drop the 6-piston calipers. The new radially mounted 4-piston calipers weigh 30 grams less and grip smaller 300 mm discs that save another 300 ag. Though smaller, Suzuki claimed that the new brakes provide better stopping and turn-in performance. The headlights of the 2003 year's GSX-R1000 were mounted vertically to enable the ram air intakes in the front to be placed 20 mm nearer the bike's center line. The new design was very much inspired by the look of the Hayabusa. The instruments were also redesigned. The cylinder displacement of the engine remained the same 988 cc, but more power torque and better throttle response had been achieved by adding 4 ventilation holes between the cylinders to equalize crankcase pressure beneath the pistons, moving the air intake nearer to the centerline and upgrading the engine management system from a 16-bit to a 32-bit ECU. The entire exhaust system was now made of titanium to save an additional 1.32 lb and the tail light was replaced with LEDs. The 2003 model carried over to 2004 without any significant improvements. 2005, the 2005 model year GSX-R1000 had a redesigned engine and chassis. It had 4.4 lb lower weight than the previous model and the engine had an 11 cc larger piston displacement. It had a totally new frame reducing the total length of the bike by 1.6 in but reducing its wheelbase only 0.02 in. There were new brakes with radial-mounted calipers and 310 discs at the front. The new titanium silencer was said to be designed to reduce turbulence to minimum. This model weighs in at a mere 365 lbs dry, putting it towards the top of the power-to-weight ratio charts. The 2005 model has a tested wet weight of 444 lb. Power outputs is tested 162.1 HP at 11,500 RPM and peak torque is 79.9 FTA pound force at 8,500 RPM. The 2005 model carried over to 2006 without any significant improvements other than a few appearance changes. As of 2014 the K5 per carat 6 model is the quickest production motorcycle on the planet. 2007, on September 22, 2006, Suzuki revealed a significantly updated GSX-R1000 for 2007 at the Paris Motor Show. The new bike gained 14 lb over the 2006 model which was due to its new exhaust system and new emissions regulations. To counter this weight increase, Suzuki claimed improved aerodynamics along with a faster revving engine and larger throttle body. Although not a completely new model, the engine and chassis have been updated. It also featured 3 different engine mapping configurations, selectable via 2 buttons located on the right handlebar. 1 up, and 1 down arrow to cycle between Mode A, Mode B, and Mode C. It also received a hydraulic clutch. The 2007 model carried over to 2008 without any significant improvements. Specifications: all specifications are manufacturer-claimed and estimated. References. External links: GSX-R1000 at Global Suzuki website, Suzuki at DMOZ.